Wake them up. How's it going? I got with me my beautiful, lovely daughter, Aliani, and we're going to go at it again with the comedy. Before I go into some of the jokes, some of the comedy that I got for you, I want to say please like, share, and subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. I'm wearing one of our shirts, Lost Souls Matter. Please go to our description, and right there you can go into Teespring link, and you can take a look at our gear. We want to thank you for all your support. So without any further ado, here we go. So this is a life story. At this one, I was at church, and I'm getting into the mood, and we're worshiping God. And I remember I picked up my daughter.
Yeah. No. You already did that for the first video.
No, we didn't talk about this one. So I held my daughter, right? And we're just praising the Lord. And we're saying like, wow, man, I'm really meditating on God and stuff like that. And the church is real quiet and stuff like that. And then all of a sudden, I hear these farts. And they're touching my hand. And then all of a sudden, my face is like that. And I go, and I felt the farts. And then it was my daughter that was farting right on my hand. And it was just so funny. It was just so hilarious. I don't know if anybody heard it around us or whatever. But yeah, that happened. So then there was another one. Yeah, I said it to you. I didn't tell it to people yet. Don't believe me. I did it. She thinks I did this one already. So anyway, then there was another day where we were sitting at the dinner table, and all of a sudden, my daughter does, she's sitting right next to me, and all of a sudden, there's these farts that you could hear.
It's like...
It was these loud farts. So my son and my wife literally thought it was me. It sounded like a grown man's fart, you know? So then, so lo and behold, I stood quiet when they thought it was me.
And then I said, excuse me, and then they're like, it's Ani.
It's Ani, my daughter, that did those farts. And my wife couldn't believe it. She was like, what? You did that? And she couldn't just believe it. So now I got a question for you guys. How many of you guys, when using the bathroom, how many of you guys like build a nest around your toilet, around the toilet seat? You guys know what I'm talking about, right? So when you get like layers of toilet paper and you put it all the way around the seat, you put one or two. How many layers do you put? Especially when you do it in a public bathroom, right? So
you go one layer.
You go to the mall, or you go to Darien Lake or whatever. You go to a theme park, or you go to any store or restaurant. How many layers? If you're gonna do the number two, how many layers of toilet paper do you use? And it's funny because it's almost like if you're about to hatch an egg, right? You're putting all this toilet paper around the seat, and then you're sitting down. You get it ready that way. And another thing is this. Our mask for COVID actually helps us in the bathroom. Man, sometimes when you go in the bathroom, it is stank in there. So when you got your mask on, you don't get all that smell, all that nastiness, So the mask actually helps for that, believe it or not. And then the other thing is this. How come is it sometimes when somebody does a number two, you hear all this noise, all this pushing, even guys, man, it sounds like they're giving labor. Like they're pushing all that stuff out of them. It's just crazy, man. Sometimes I go in the bathroom and I just laugh. Sometimes I'm the guy doing all the pushing, and it's funny too,
Yeah, you always you're like 10 times more weight than me.
And then how about this? When we're in a public restroom, I don't know about you. There's some people like, it's almost like a secret identity, They did a number two, and they want to keep it private. And it's like they're trying to get out of there when nobody's around. Sometimes they're waiting for you to leave the bathroom, and then they'll come out. And then there's one time I remember at work, man, this guy blew up the bathroom. He came out of the bathroom, and he thought I was gone or something. We made eye contact. He was like, ooh. We looked at each other, and he did like this. He was shocked that I seen him, like I knew the identity of the guy who just bombed the bathroom. And then we got other guys that are bold, right? There's people that they do the number two, and they just walk right out. They wash their hands like nothing happened. There's also people, too, we got to be careful, that they go and they do a number two. They even wash their hands, which is nasty.
But it's not good. It's not healthy for your hands.
It's not healthy, yeah. Now, this is a pretty nasty series of comedy. And check this out. You know what's real nasty and disgusting to God? It's our sin. Our sin is nasty to God. When we lie, when we steal, when we break God's commandments, when we reject Christ, that is nasty to God. It's disgusting to God because God is holy. Our God that we serve, the Christian God, the God that died for us on the cross, man, he's completely holy. There's no sin in him. And you know what? When we commit these sins, these treacherous things, man, is when people commit them, you know, they're an enemy of God. They're in need of Jesus Christ. And it's nasty. It's filth to God. And another thing is, too, when you try to do right deeds, the scriptures also teach in the Old Testament that our righteous deeds are like filthy rags unto God. It's, you know, because again, God doesn't just look at our good, he looks at the bad. And guess what? Our bad always taints and messes up our good deeds in God's eyes. That's the context of the Bible.
Hold on. I need to tell you something. So it says, poopy face, pee-pee face, toilet face. It says toilet face. It says
caca face. Okay, all right, thanks. That was a good one.
It says teethy face.
So now, because all our sin looks nasty to God, like poop, you know, it's nasty to him. We can't be right with God based on our living. So look what happens. Jesus died for our sins. He died so that we could be right with God, so we could be forgiven of all the nastiness, all the wickedness that we have done in our lives. And that's called the gospel message. So when you believe in Jesus, guess what? You're forgiven. You become a child of God because you're bought by his blood. And so I urge you to say, man, I need Jesus. If you want to hear more about the gospel, please go to our playlist. Hold on. Go to our playlist and go to the gospel in a nutshell. And also there's a playlist too that we got, how to be saved. Please look at those things. It's important, okay? Your salvation is important. Please like, share, and subscribe, and we'll catch you on the next video. See ya. Want to say bye?